Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Capricorn reading. The full moon is on the 29th of the month, and it is filling in a space that was initiated by the new moon in Gemini 10 days ago. And this space acts a lot like the full moon at its power, revealing what's hidden, what's been secret, what you haven't known, information that's been underground, and looking at something that appears obvious, but understanding the complexity and profundity of what is beneath. You're in tune with the unconscious energy, but this is about our emotional intelligence having recently been greatly expanded by Jupiter's passage through Cancer. And now with the sun in Cancer and the full moon opposite that in Capricorn, we're stepping up to what we feel. We're taking ownership of our feelings, responsibilities, and expressing that maturity as a way of showing up. So this is going to affect you in the area where you are understanding the impact you want to have on the improvement of the planet, the improvement of community, the experience of community of the earth. I'm still getting over a little bit of the flu. So I have pulled for your wild unknown archetype, the Venom. And I'm going to look that up briefly here. It is number 43. All right. So very close here. All right. Oh, actually, that is not what I was saying. It is 63. Reading those Roman numerals can be tricky. All right, so other names for the venom are the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide, and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there's a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. When you harm another, you harm yourself. As an example, and the spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it's likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. This sounds like some deeply disturbing and repeating patterns as a result of trauma. And this is clarified by creativity. Interesting. So the creativity card has a beautiful spider, it looks like, that is creating an incredible web. And the fun fact that I have learned from the guidebook is that the spider silk is 5 times stronger than steel. Now, what that actually means in the context of that comparison is unknown to me. However, the point is clear. The spider weaves protection, a net to catch its prey. It's a multi-purpose web, but it is beautiful, it is symmetrical, it is intricate, and it is powerful. It's delicate. And this is the way in which you are able to protect yourself through your imagination, through your ability to be creative, to look for solutions beyond what you've known, to make something out of what you've been given. So this feels like a way in which you are alchemizing or transforming experiences of trauma, pain, abuse, exploitation into something that can be beautiful and still be protective, that can draw to you the information, the relationships, the resources that you need to create something beautiful and strong. In the present, the Six of Pentacles is describing the way that you are very comfortable giving and receiving. So this is telling me that you found a process whereby you are able to negotiate your desires and your needs through communication with others, through the ability to establish fairness, to compromise in a way that is healthy if and when you begin that negotiation with a declaration of what you desire. And for many, particularly the Pisces I'm reading for, asking for what you want, claiming what you desire is the most important step. And that in and of itself can be a difficult exercise for those who have been exposed or laid upon a lot of expectations imposed upon them, so that you have been told what you want and what you can do in a way that precludes you feeling worthy of claiming anything else. And so when you claim your desire, when you find your desire, when you identify what you truly want, you're actually able to compromise at a level that never loses the spark of your initiation of desire. So your goal is out there. The compromise starts there. It doesn't start with you trying to fit into what someone else wants. So this is an important lesson that leads you to balance, because once you can identify what you want, you're perfectly willing of negotiating that, coming to an agreement, which is at the core of all of our exchanges of energy, all of our relationships. And in the past, Seven of Cups, there have been a lot of options available to you. And I'm not sure if this is about your work or your relationships. I think this is about both and all. I think this can be applied to opportunities that perhaps you pursued in the past that were more about the things that you would receive in reward. The money, the attention, the publicity, the friends, the love, the material objects that would display your status. And I don't think any of them are bad things. I simply think that you've come to understand the power of what you do is far greater than the things that you exchange that power for. So it feels to me like your ultimate destination is healing. That whatever you do, your intention is to make something better, make individuals feel better, make individuals literally better, provide more options or opportunities for individuals through something that you create. And so this is telling me that ultimately that your goal has become the unfolding, the magnification of your power to make others feel good, to support others, to help others. This is what comes naturally to you. You see the connection between all things, and that is what your gift to others can be. The immediate connection you can make with others you work for, others you work with. And that is a gift. And that necessarily provides you with lots of invitations and offers to be a part of what others are creating, and can also often be confusing and overwhelming. In the future, the Ace of Swords. There's some revelation. There's some victory that you are moving towards. There's some justice that you are seeing enacted through your own gifts, your powers, your efforts. You're moving towards the truth, and it can be the truth of your power, the impact that your power can have on a community, on a family, on a culture. But you embody the sense of clarity and enlightenment. You provide that for others because of your pursuit of what's true and what's right and what's fair. So you're moving towards some equitable truth, some equitable justice here. Something that is available to all people that make the effort, that declare their desire for that justice, that are looking for soothing, for healing, for repair, for recovery. You know how. This is interesting. Yes, this is about recovery you provide for others, naturally through the crucible of your own experiences. If this is resonating for you, Pisces, please like this video. Please share this with others if you feel inclined to do so. I appreciate comments, and your presence is what's most important now, here. So the Seven of Cups in the past is clarified by two cards, please. I have the Eight of Cups and the Lovers. Okay. I think you have left something behind. You have moved away. You've matured. You have learned the art of discernment and discrimination. You no longer are tempted by the plethora of opportunities, fun things, connections that are available to you that look good, that feel good in the short term. So short-term gratification, you've had your fill of that, or that no longer interests you. You're very clear. So you move here from a 7 to an 8 of Cups. You've left that behind. And what you're moving towards now is the understanding of long-term benefit. Victory, success, support that you can sustain over time. And that very traditionally is romanticized in the Lovers, that deeper connection of two similar souls that support each other to do the greater work. That greater work is about the longer term benefit that is provided not only within the relationship, but to others beyond the relationship itself. So this inclines me to believe that you are at a place of incredible maturity in your life. The ability to look over past experiences, relationships, and understand that some short-term favor, reward, attention is not sustainable. It's not for you. It doesn't match your interest or the direction of your life. In the present, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Swords and the Devil card. Okay. Yeah, there's something that you're exercising almost from your life. A powerful temptation. This can be in the form of a former relationship, one that was very compelling, one that was very charming, one that provided or took you to the places that you thought were glamorous, exciting, fun. There was some display of gifts, of exposure to wealth, abundance, or the illusion of it. There was some kind of control this particular relationship had over you that was based on a pattern that you had enacted many times before, a pattern where ultimately you were rejected. Ultimately, you were set aside, you were uh, deprived, betrayed, lured in, seduced, and then abandoned. That's the story that's coming through. And you actually have come to realize what this bond was about. It feels like a trauma bond, a codependency where two people need each other, one to uh, uh, minister to or help someone else heal. And that comes from a sense that, an unhealthy sense that, the other person can't heal without you, and that if they wanted to heal, they would do it without you. But the part of the seduction is the control you believe you have in helping this other person. And that's a powerful seduction. You are in a place of withdrawing from that relationship or that opportunity. You have withdrawn. You have gone within to understand the pattern that you're breaking. And the pattern comes because what you thought you wanted was assumed. It was never shared. It was never agreed to. It was never communicated about. And you now understand that this negative example of a strong soul bond reminds us that soul bonds are often with people that we have some deep work to do with, some deep lesson where we've agreed to come back and work on. These are the most troubling and challenging relationships. And you understand now that you're grateful for that experience because it's shown you what you don't want, what isn't workable, that is short term, because these relationships always end. But these people seem to always come back. They can't live without you. And you understand that. You understand that you were providing the supply of care, of attention, of enabling in many cases. So you're grateful for having seen and come to understand that you are always able to communicate your desire in a way that is healthy, that is grateful for the experience, but has learned that this is not you. This is not the relationship that matches who you are. This is a relationship of codependency that you are releasing. And you're continuing to do that work within yourself. So any of you that are familiar with the dynamics of codependency, it is quite likely a lifetime process of healing. No matter how balanced we are, certain things trigger our desire to save someone, to rescue someone. And you're understanding that dealing, facing this, being honest about this, gives you the basis to break that cycle and the basis for a healthier spiritual foundation. In the future, the Ace of Swords. Oh, this is the revelation that comes through. And this is clarified by the Three of Wands. One more, please. The Ten of Swords. Yeah. Yep. You're tearing down the walls. You're tearing down the beliefs, the expectations of you, that this is your job. This is probably something that you have seen, quite likely in childhood or coming of age. Someone else who took all the hits of others' wounding. Someone who believed that they didn't have a right to any experience beyond the backlash, the anger, or the revenge of someone else, someone who was in tremendous pain. And you are building, you haven't built, you are building a structure that wants to grow beyond this for sure, but wants to grow more fundamentally by taking what you have and moving to less familiar environments, ones that don't trigger automatically the same kind of response that you now are clear about is a signal, is a trigger. You are setting up yourself so that you can be available to new kinds of relationships that don't carry this baggage, certainly not this baggage with you, that allow you to choose your collaborators, your partners, your co-creators, that allow you to look at other models, particularly of relationships and exchanges that lead to success that you want to emulate, not something that leads to this crushing of spirit, this extinguishing of hope. So this revelation is all about the way that you are growing and developing beyond what appears to be toxic relationships. I'm going to finish this reading with a Language of Flowers oracle, and I pull stock. And the key words are slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. I see you moving in general, Pisces, towards a lot of ambition, projects, clarity, creativity, but this is a moment with a full moon in Capricorn that is continuing on what feels like the energy of the new moon of Gemini, which is not so much about starting something new as it is about allowing the clarity to be what's new, the clarity about the release of the old and the patience with which you allow your new opportunities to emerge. And that takes maturity. That takes being a grown-up to trust that there's something there for you. You have built towards something, and you only need patience to allow that to become clear, your direction to open up. Thank you so much, Pisces, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.